Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be explaining how you can write numbers in standard form or numbers that are already in standard form back to normal numbers. This is a very easy concept. You just need to pay a bit of attention and you will get it very easily. So to begin with, I'm gonna state a fact. It is very obvious, everyone already knows this, but just in case for those who don't, or just to bring it back, a number is equal to number 0.0. This means this could be any number. So 256, for example, is the same as 256.0. 1,000 is equal to 1,000.0. 2 is equal to 2.0. So this is very clear. Any number at all is equal to the number 0.0. And this is a fact that we will need a lot when changing numbers to standard form. So let's begin. So let's say you've been calculating or doing some question and you get your answer as, let's just say any long number. I'm just going to use this one. So 256, and then we put an 8, 9, 0, 0, 5, 0. Yeah, let's just say you get something like this. Now, the question tells you leave your answer as standard form. So what exactly is it telling you? So the first thing you do, I do this and I really recommend you to do this as well. Ask yourself this question. This question contains the answer to everything with standard form. What does it take to bring the decimal point in front of the first number? That's what the question says. So obviously in this number we don't have a decimal point. So to do that, we can change that, since we established this fact that a number is the same as number 0.0. So we are going to add a 0.0 here. We know that this number is the same as the number 0.0. We said that here. So that's what we do. First of all, we add a 0.0. So now we do have a decimal place. So we're going to read this again. What does it take to bring the decimal point, this decimal point, in front of the first number? Obviously, this is how we count, so we're going to start counting like this. So this is therefore the first number. So, that's how we count. That's obvious. So what does it take to bring this decimal point over here? So I do this, and it's the easiest way. You count bends. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it took us 8 bends in total. Yeah? So we're trying to bring this decimal point over here. So we simply just count the bends as I did for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 bends. So to write this number in standard form, the first step, we write it as we changed it. So we brought this decimal point here. So we put it like that and put the decimal point. 5, 6, 8, 9, 0, 0, 5, 0. Times 10, this is a constant. The times 10 is a constant. Every number that is in standard form has to have this times 10, otherwise it is not in standard form. And this is a constant. So times 10 to the power 8. Because it took us 8 bends to bring the decimal point in front of the first number. We know that 2 is the first number, so it took us 8 bends to bring this decimal point in front of it. So we put it to a power of 8. This is your answer. This is how simple it is. There is no other, thing you should worry about. Just follow the step and ask yourself this question. It is very essential. So I'm just going to give you another example. Let me use a shorter one this time. 2, 8, 9, 5, 0. Okay. Oh wow, I just realized I like the 2, 9, and 5. So first thing we do, we put our 0.0. The question did not tell us to, but again, since we are asking ourselves, what does it take to bring the decimal point in front of the first number? We have to have a decimal point in the answer. So we put our decimal point ourselves, and now we have to bring it in front of the first number. This is the first number, obviously, counting from here. So what does it take to bring this decimal point in front of this number, right? Over here. So we start counting our bends again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bends. This in standard form would be 2 point, because we have brought the decimal here. Let's not forget to write it as a point. 2.895 times 10 to the power 4, because it has 4 bends. Yeah, so the 10 is times 10 is a constant. This is the number of bends, and this is the number with the decimal point in front of the first number. Yeah, this is how easy it is. Sometimes the question might even give you a number with a decimal number already in it. So for example, let's say 76.91. This is what the question has given you, and it says you have to change this into a standard form. So this time we don't need to put a 0.0 because the number cannot have 2 decimal points. We already have our decimal point, so we don't need to put a 1 ourselves, right? So we're just going to use this same point and this question. The question always remains the same, and always just continuously keep asking yourself this. What does it take to bring the decimal point, in this case, this decimal point, in front of the first number? Again, counting from here, we know that this is our first number, yeah? So what does it take to bring this decimal point in front of this number? So we take our bend, so this comes here, so we know that this is 1 bend. So in standard form, we put this as 7.691 times 10 to the power 1, because it took us 1 bend to come from here to here. Yeah, the 10 is a constant, and this is the number with the decimal point after the first number. So this is how easy it is. There is no other problem with standard form. However, if you might have seen sometimes that the power to the 10 is not always positive. It can also be negative. Why is it negative sometimes? It is negative in cases where the question has given you numbers with zeros. That means numbers like 0.00269. Yeah? If this is the number the question gives you and tells you to change this into standard form, how are you going to do that? We're still, as I said, this question is a huge essential. You always use this. What does it take to bring the decimal point, this, in front of the first number? Now, if you would have noticed, I wrote 1 to 9 over here, and there's a reason I did this. Because when dealing with standard form, 0 is not considered a number. You have to keep in mind, 0 is not a number at all. So 1 to 9 is what you're looking at. Here, the decimal point is in front of a 0, so this is not considered to be in front of a number. It's still not in front of a number at the moment. So you have to bring it in front of the first number that is between 1 to 9. Yeah? So you start counting again from this side. This is not a number. This is not a number. This is not a number. Then we go to the next one. Oh yeah, 2 is a number between 1 to 9. It is the first number between 1 to 9. So we have to bring this decimal point in front of the first number. So over here, this is where we have to bring this decimal point. So we count 1, 2, 3. Yeah? So that would be 3 bends again. However, in this question, we did not count this way. We counted this way, the other way around. So 1, 2, 3. Not this way, like as you've seen here. So when the direction changes, so does the sign. So in standard form, this number would be 2.69. As I said, you write the number with the decimal point after the first number. So over here, in this case, 2.69 times 10. This is a constant in every case. As I said, if this is not there, then the number is not in standard form. to the power minus 3, because it is minus 3 bends, not 3 bends. 3 bends would be if you traveled in this direction. This is going in this direction, so minus 3 bends. You can write this on the top of your exam paper if you think you would get confused or something. So this would become, maybe you could write something like this. So whenever you go in this direction, it's a plus. This direction, it's a minus. So you're talking about the power here. Nothing else changes. It's the power, the sign of the power, that changes. Now, in cases, sometimes the question will give you the standard form and tell you to change it back to a normal number. So we're going to do that as well. So let's practice that. Let's say the question is 6.89 times 10 to the power 5. Yeah, this is in standard form. How would you change this back to a normal number? So we're gonna use this rule. Yeah, we're gonna use this rule. So I'm just gonna bring this down here just for you. So when we bring this down here, because this time we have not changed any number to a standard form, we're doing the other way around, this also gets flipped. This is an easy way for you to know, so I'm doing this as virtually as possible. You flip the sign. Here, in this case, where you're changing from a number to a standard form, when you're going this way, it's a positive. This way, it's a negative. When you're changing standard form to a number, this gets flipped. So this time, this way is a negative and this way is a positive. You can remember it just the way how I did it. You know, you can do this in your exam and then you can remember what I just did and flip it around the other way. So this is what we're going to use in this case. Now, since it's a positive, so we're using this arrow. So we have our 6.89. We're using this arrow, as I said. So times 10 to the power 5. We multiply this by 5. We add 5 bends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we don't have any numbers here in these 3 places, so which means these 3 were 0. So our answer is 689,000. That is our answer. That is it. If you're given like 2.82 times 10 to the power 1, this in standard form, again, it's a positive power. So we're going to be looking at this. We look at this arrow. It points in this way. So we count our bends this way, as you can see. So writing this 2.82, so we count 1 bend, just 1 because 10 is to the power of 1. So that would be 28.2. That is our answer. That is how simple it is. If it is to a negative, let's say 6.99 times 10 to the power minus 4. This time, the power is a negative. So what you do is you look at this back again. If it's a negative, you go in this direction. As you can see the negative here. So negative is in this direction. So you count your bends this time in this direction. So minus 4. So 4 bends. I'm just going to do this here. 6.99 and 4 bends in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be a 0, 0, 0. And since we have brought the decimal point over here, so there'll be a decimal here. So that means there should be another 0 here. So 0.000699. This is our answer. This is how simple it is. There is no exception at all to what I've explained. So you have to keep these arrows in mind. You just simply use this, yeah? And you have to like flip it just flip it whenever you're doing it here. If you're changing from a number to a standard form, it will be this way. If you're changing from standard form to number, you flip it around. Yeah, you have to always keep that in mind and remember that, and maybe write that on top of the paper. That's what I do sometimes, so it really helps. Always ask yourself this question: what does it take to bring the decimal point in front of the first number? That is always your goal when you're changing from a number to standard form. You're trying to bring the decimal point in front of the first number. So once you do that, you write the number with the decimal point in front of the first number. You write your constant, the times 10, and you give it to the power of the number of bends. If the decimal point is in front of the 0, for example, I'm just gonna do this, 0.059, this would be in standard form. You multiply it, so the decimal point comes here. This will take 2 bends. However, since it's in this direction and you're changing from number to standard form, so it's here, since it's in this direction, it's a minus power. So this will be 5.9 times 10 to the power minus 2. Yeah, if you're changing standard form to normal number, you flip these arrows around, you bring them here, and that's what you use. So if you're given the number with a positive power, you use this arrow and you add bends like this. If you're given it with a negative power, like here, you add negative bends that goes from the decimal point here. So that's simply what you do. If you have any other questions or confusions or anything, please do write it in my comment box, and please like, share, and subscribe my video. Thank you so much.